Welcome back to David Does. If you're like me, whenever you travel, you have a small list of things that you absolutely must not forget to take with you. One of those things for me is actually a watch. So if you're not a watch person, that's totally understandable. This video is not for you. In the day and age of smartphones and just being able to check the time other places, it's not a requirement. But for me, I love to take a watch with me. And that brings me to this disclosure that this video is sponsored by Vaer. Now they reached out to me and said, hey David, we like your videos. Are you interested in reviewing watches? If so, take a look at our catalog. And I thought, whenever I do travel, I do take a minute to go through my entire watch collection, see what's coming with me. And I thought maybe I could film the ultimate travel watch video. So I went to their catalog and I immediately put on 3 filters. The first was I wanted one of their manufactured in the US watches. The second was I wanted it to be a 40mm watch that's just the best size for my wrist. And 3, I wanted it to also be an understated watch. One of the big things that whenever I travel and look at my watches, I decide on is I don't want my watch to stand out too much. It would be great if I could dress it up a little bit, but I also don't want it to stand out and make me a potential target for something, of a robbery or something. And finally, the last decision I made was one that every watch aficionado has to make. Is it going to be a quartz-based watch or an automatic-based watch? Now, believe it or not, I did work a little bit in a jewelry center that had a watch repair location on the inside of it in high school, and I kind of fell in love with how watches work. So I am a big fan of automatic watches that have the nice mechanisms inside of it, but for a travel watch, I decided I wanted it to be quartz. To add on to that, the one I picked turned out to be solar, the C5 Tactical Solar Watch from Vaer. It comes in at about $339 as of now. I do have a coupon code down below that will save you a little bit of money. And I think this is ultimately the best travel watch for me. And so far, I really like it. The outside features a sapphire single dome crystal that's super clear and it's been very durable. And the coating is also an AR black coating. To add to this, when I was walking around testing it out, I'm a pretty clumsy person. I, on 2 notable occasions, knocked it into a doorknob as well as just the wall. And I thought, man, there's no way it survived that. And it did. It hasn't even been scuffed yet. And on the inside of this, it has a solar-based movement. It's actually from a company in Japan called Epson. If you're not aware, many watch manufacturers do get their movement from another company. Of course, there are some notable exceptions, but a watch movement is kind of hard to manufacture. And if you've been doing it for years, you're probably really good at it, and other companies will order that from you. There's another big benefit to that. The one thing that really drew me into this company was their tagline was meant to be repaired, not replace. I am very rough on things that I own, like watches. Being able to have this repaired is a huge key. Being able to repair my watch and getting these more commonplace items is a big benefit to me, whether I have it shipped back to Vaer to be fixed, or maybe I do it myself or have another watch repair company do it. That's really nice. To move past the movement, it does have a very sleek black watch face. Now, all of the numbering and the watch hands have a C3 Super Luminova coating on them. What this means is it glows in the dark, and it is very bright. If you walk outside with this thing in the bright sunlight and walk inside, even if it's a well-lit room, you can still see this thing glow for a long time. The other thing that Vaer really markets towards is their waterproof rating. So it does have 10 atmospheres of water resistance, and they have a pretty good warranty about that. And what really plays into that as well is the crown itself. It's a locking crown, meaning you have to unscrew it, which breaks a watertight seal, and then you can go ahead and put the time and date in. A lot of my watches that are not as water resistant don't have that locking crown, so your water resistance value is basically on how watertight the seal is of the little pin that goes through the actual watch case itself. I'm excited to keep trying this thing out and taking it on a few more trips with me. It's been a pretty faithful companion up till now. I really appreciate Vaer for reaching out and letting me take a look at this watch. If you have any questions about it, put it down below. I love that type of interaction. Thanks for watching and subscribing to David Does.